Hi, hope everyone's okay and had a good day. Another day, nearly done. Just really sending out some good vibes, lots of love, and I didn't know what I was gonna try and do a more chirpy, less ranty kind of one. However, just doesn't work out that way. So I have got some amazing dance videos. Oh my god, like there's some dance challenges. Like, where was I? How did I miss these? So I'm going to put them in because they're just epic and just giggles. And we need more giggles. Laughter is medicine, after all. And you know what it was? This is how it started. I was just thinking to myself earlier, I was staring out the window and I was like, God, I'm so done with these four walls. Like, I'm so over them. I'm over them. Like, I get outside, I just much prefer being outside than inside. And it's just been in for so long, isn't it? It's just even the walls annoy me. So then I thought, where can I go? So let's just get some things straight. First, I'm not having a vaccine. First two. Told you I do that all the time. Second, I'm not getting a vaccinate. I'm not having a passport. Third, there's a new thing that they're trying to bring in, a freedom pass. So you have to have a pass to state that you're free for 90 days. It also has a time limit, let's not forget. I'm not having one of those. And I'm not having a test because I don't need one. And because I had a test a few months ago, it's negative, and I haven't been anywhere. And when I go outside, even though I don't like wearing masks, I do wear them out of respect for other people, because I know that there are other people that are afraid when they don't need to be. So I just do it out of respect for them, for their personal space. So I thought, where can I go? Where can I go where that's going to be acceptable? So first of all, obviously, I looked then on the amazing internet things, and it says obviously that the travel corridors are closed, and obviously there's this whole hoo-ha about whether or not they're going to open and blah, 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 blah. Right. Let me tell you, the travel corridors are not closed. They're closed to paupers like us. Because if you think about it, sports people are flying all over the place, business people are flying all over the place. And I went on to, I actually did a post about this months ago, about the increase in private jet travel, aviation. So I looked at, so private aviation, for those that can afford it, has gone up 90%. And also, interestingly, you don't need a test, you don't need a vaccination, you don't need a vaccine passport, and you also don't need to quarantine if you travel by private charter. So it just makes a mockery. This is being turned. What's happening here is being turned into a society where rich people don't need to have any of these things, but poor people, let's just put like haves and have-nots, whatever you want to call it. I'm in the poor category as well. in other people's minds. I'm rich in my own mind, as far as I'm concerned. But that's what they're doing. So let's go back a step then. So the virus has been manufactured, which we know this because there is patented, which means it's an invention, which means it can be sold and there's money made from it. And I've shared links to that on previous videos. I'm not going to send it again. Just go through my other videos and look in the descriptions. There's millions of links. So there's that. The variants are also patented, and there's evidence of that because you can just search the number and then it gives you a patent number, and you can go to the patent and you can see who made it and who the inventors were. So, and there's also links of those on my other videos. So these people have created a virus and the vaccine, let's not forget, both of which are making them money, and neither of which they are going to have, because they have enough money to travel, essentially, because you don't need any of these things that they're trying to force on the rest of the population if you've got enough money. You don't need a vaccine. You don't need a vaccine passport. You don't need a test. You don't need to wear a mask. You can travel wherever the fuck you want. And the corridors are open. And if you look on any private charter website, it says so. But to the rest of the population, air travel is down. Air corridors are not open. That's the first thing. The next thing is you can also you can migrate wherever you want with absolutely no stress whatsoever. So, unlike everyone else who has to go through some kind of ridiculous application process and it takes forever and you might not even get a visa and blah 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 blah. If you've got enough money, you can just buy it. You can buy your residency. Either by buying a property or investing in that country X amount, and they just give it to you. You don't have to go through all that process. So again, the haves and the have-nots. And this isn't a thing against people with money. My point is, everyone should have fucking money. You can't. This is being systematically done to control the people that don't have money. And it's not even that anymore. It's more than that. It's everyone other than them. Because everyone's lives have been affected. Everyone's businesses have been affected. Everyone's industries have been affected. Everyone is affected. And everyone is being expected to fall in line to what they want. And they want everyone to be their slaves, essentially. And do what they say. And that's you're seeing it happen. The laws are being changed without any checks and balances, without people having any idea. They're treating people like they're stupid. And it's fucking offensive. Whilst they jet around the world wherever they fucking want without having to have a vaccine or a vaccination pass or a freedom pass or whatever. And the only reason that is because they've got more money. And it just makes a mockery of the whole fucking coronavirus. So people are dying. Why aren't they? They're making billions of dollars off everyone's being ill from something that they created, and then they're trying to give you the vaccine for it. And even if you have the vaccine, they're trying to say, oh, but it won't, it might not cover the variants. Another thing that they've created that there is evidence of because it's invented and there's a patent for it. Oh, guess what? They're going to create another fucking vaccination, and then you're going to have that as well. That's in the pipeline, no doubt about it. I said weeks ago that there was going to be a third lockdown, and that it was going to be attached to, they're going to try and use some kind of green, look at the benefits of and climate change. We know about climate change, but you can't lock people in their fucking houses and use coronavirus as some kind of side route into people keeping people prisoners at home because it suits you, because you want to run the fucking world and kill everyone off. Like, what the fuck? And then the other thing that I've just seen as well, obviously businesses are suffering and shutting down left, right, and centre. And then this is a problem because people, and this is going back to, I don't want, they're trying to push people into a situation where they're going to do desperate things and act in ways that just are not them. You're already seeing it. There's a kid last week, an 18-year-old kid. I think I said last night, 18-year-old kid that was just stabbed on his doorstep. I think there's been some ridiculous amount of stabbings since I can't remember, I haven't got the number at the tip of my tongue right now. Since the beginning of the year, people, 13-year-olds stabbing other kids, like, and 120 it was, women. That's just since January. Killed by their partners because we've been in this situation for so long, and it is detrimental on everyone's mental health. And the straight facts of it is, drinking, and I don't want to be a party pooper, I love a fucking drink as much as anyone, but all of these things have a massive impact on your mental health as it is. And then add in being essentially a prisoner of your own home for 12 months. And then add in the stress of either trying to work from home and look after children and homeschool children. And even if you get on with your partner, sticking in a house for 12 months is going to be a hard task. Unless you live in a mansion and you can have separate time, or you're with somebody that you just adore and you can be around like that. But let's face it, that isn't most people. So getting mental health right is so critical. It's so critical. Because otherwise these kind of things are going to they're going to get worse. Because people haven't got jobs, haven't got money, so people are stealing stuff. Like there was a video on Crime Stoppers of I think it's like 3 or 4 people from Birmingham, and they'd obviously been watching shops, with the ATM machines when they get the cash changed, and they'd gone around and they obviously watched when this person comes, what time, what days, and then they were going around and they were literally following this, over a course of a few weeks, and they were doing it with like fucking axes and shit. People are stealing dogs. Dog stealing has gone up 250%. It's a problem. And drinking the situation away is just not, it's making it so much worse. Or drugs or whatever it is, all of those things all together, it's just making all of it worse. It is. For each individual's mental health. That's just honesty, because I don't know, I'm speaking from this is not a judgmental comment. This is coming from, I know, because I was there. And if when you're under that pressure, and if you're doing all of those things all at the same time, people are going to blow. This is why it's so important that we get help to people. And then you've got to think, like, the mental health system, how fucked up is that? Like, the waiting list on that. They don't get funded properly, they're not supported properly, they don't have enough staff. It's just the whole system. And they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to. And I saw something the other day, and it's like somebody going, "Oh, I'm just going to have the vaccine because I want to go to the pub." Like, wow. If that's, it's a sorry state of the world if that's what people are worried about. Because trust me, there are much bigger problems. And obviously not everyone wants to know or care, I suppose. I can't sleep at night thinking about it. Here's a suggestion that I made. I made this thing. So, for example, these are things that I've already suggested months and months ago. So, and this applies to in LA. I saw a video, and they've got loads and loads of empty apartments that just sat there. So why aren't they putting all those homeless people in those apartments? Why aren't they doing that? And they just sat there empty. And this is along the lines of what I was said before. It was called Homes for Homeless, and it's along with the same with the redoing the castles, which is definitely okay. That's got to be done, hasn't it? Or I think we should redo all of our historical. Why are we sitting watching these amazing buildings go to waste? Our history just makes no sense to me. Absolutely nonsense. It's all of it. It's crazy. I feel like I'm in a fucking madhouse. Literally. Right. Anyway, sorry. Homeless. Homes for homeless. So the idea is that, or if there's, and this is a big if, because I'm not entirely sure that there is a building company with a backbone, morals, and that isn't totally greedy, and that has hearts and souls. But if there is, they could do this. They could do this really easily. So all of our 10 centres are like ghost towns, and there's so many office blocks and shops and all of these things, which are just derelict and make the town look just dead, don't they? However, they are already built, they are already insulated, they all have the electrics, they all have everything you need. It would take very little money. Firstly, you're going to be able to buy it cheaply, and you want to be doing this so that some people from other countries don't come and try and fucking take over and buy all our stuff, for example. So, and this can apply within any country, because it will be the same in other countries, I'm assuming, if they're as bad as ours, which is builders in this country, you can get loans, and obviously you can, your builders, but I'm talking about if there were smaller building companies or a group of people that have been labourers that may be out of work at the moment. If you come together, you can apply for Funding Circle. There's loads of funders that are still lending, and what you could do, because this isn't really for the big boys, because they won't do it, because they like to destroy the landscape instead. They like to build on green lands and destroy lives. But any labourers or people that have labouring skills, you can come together, because this is dead easy. And that is use the funding. I'll put in the different funding links, and you can get funding in America, same thing. Or just like a labourer, electrician, whoever. Then you can buy the office block, let's say, turn it into loads of flats. You'll be able to convert those offices into flats in a jiffy, because everything's fundamentally there. So it won't cost very much. It won't take very long. Then what you can do is you can sell it back to the council as council housing for people that might be on the waiting list, or homeless people. Or you can own it and rent it to them, or you can own it and rent it to the people directly. Either way, you're going to be making money, and it is providing homes for people that need them. It'll be a quick turnaround. I've got loads of videos on this. I'll put them in on how to do it without money. You don't need startup money. How to buy property without startup money. I've got a link to a lady that does quick turnarounds on properties like this. And also, if you need extra labor, then what you're doing is you're not only you're providing a home for somebody that's homeless, but it's so much more than that. It's an opportunity, because they get an address, they get a home, they get somewhere stable. If they have that, they have electricity. They can use they have access to online rehabilitation. They have online education. They can get a job. Maybe they could be a labourer for the person that built the houses in the first place. Look, pay it forward. This is not. These things can end. They don't want them to end. I cannot be the first person that has come up with any of these ideas. I'm sure shit is not. I'm just reading all these things here. Like, well, why isn't anyone doing it for homeless people then? Why are all these buildings derelict? They're not derelict even. They're just vacant. They're empty. There's so many of them. So many empty buildings. All of the homeless people could be put in these places. Everyone could have a home. And then it's about getting everybody to a position where they're not reliant on the state. They don't know what they're fucking doing. And that's just a fact. They're not working in the people's best interest. And we voted them in there. We're paying their salaries. Therefore, we own them. They don't own us. They do not own us. We tell them. Yeah? Let's just be real. There's 66.6 million of us in this country. Same principle applies to every other country. Do the same thing. Yeah, if your government is not the government that you voted in to work in your best interests, they're not working in your best interests, then they are not doing their job. And it really is as simple as that. Do we want vaccination passports? No, we fucking don't. So why are they still forcing it? Because you can sure as shit these rich people don't need one. They can go wherever they want without any if buts or ands about it. Because they can pay for it. They don't need the vaccine. They don't need a vaccination passport. They don't need to quarantine. They don't need a test. They don't need any of this shit. Because they can afford it. But everybody else has to suffer. Yeah. Next one, nuclear weapons. I don't think, do you know whose dream it was to create a nuclear weapon to annihilate the world? Hitler's. Do you know who he was friends with? The royal family. Do you know we have just reopened our nuclear weapons to make more? Because the 1,400 that are already in existence around the world is not enough, surely. One will do enough damage. Why have we got 1,400? Oh, is it money? Is it? That's what they're using your fucking money on. That's what they're using our money on. Making fucking weapons we don't even fucking want. Like, seriously. This ain't a game. It's a game to them. There were protests yesterday all around the world. Amen. Woo. Go fam. All around the world. It's not been presented that way in the media over here. I don't know about anywhere else, but they did exist. They did happen, and there were thousands and thousands of people all around the world protesting for their freedom. It's fucking ridiculous. Why do we have to protest for our freedom? Our freedom is ours. They can't take it from us. So another thing. Everyone's, everyone's gonna start rioting. No, they won't. No, they won't. Yeah, rioting is a bad idea. Rioting is a total waste of time. You need to outthink them. That's all it is. And the way to do it is for everyone to make money. What I've realised is, just think they just want it all. That's all it is. They want it all. They want all the knowledge, all the money, all the power, all the influence, all the health, all the everything. They just want it. They don't want anyone else to have it. They want everyone to work beneath them to prop them up and give them everything. And the crazy thing about this is if we supported if the rest of us all worked together and supported each other and picked us all up, think about the society that we would have. Forget them for a minute. Think about the society that we would have if everyone was on their A game. If everyone had their own, not everyone wants to have their own business, but you could. So if everyone had their own business, so they're working the hours they want, they're making 10 times what they were working 9 to 5, because they're earning 10 times more a month, means that everyone can just fucking chill out. Nothing would be stressful because you can pay your bills, you can look after your kids, you can have fun. You can do what you want. You can go where you want. That you can eat the best foods. You can have the healthiest lifestyle. You can go and do adventure days and all of these things. You can do because you can afford it. And because you're eating healthily, everyone's got better mental health because they're happier, because they're not stressed, because they're not working for other people's dreams, because they are working for their own, because they have got more time with their family that isn't solely around, shit, I've only got so much time and I've got to clean the house, I've got to wash the shit, I've got to look after the kids, I've got to teach the kids, I've got to do this, to do that, which is inherently stressful. You can spend more time outside. You can. Food is medicine. Plants are medicine. You can just have fun. And when you're in that space, think of what you would create. If everyone had the home, homes for homeless, if everyone gets a home, then we can everyone can, become, we can share our knowledge, share our rehabilitation, help each other, get to a space where we don't have these mental health issues, which everybody has. And then when you're there and everyone's got money and health and wealth and happiness to whatever degree, but and then everyone's got access to education, so you can do as many courses or not as you want, and people are creating things for a better society. And if everyone has that opportunity and is on that same level, think of all the things the amazing things that could be created by everyone. It'd just be much richer in terms of in both money terms, but also culturally, just in every single way of the sense of rich. We feel rich in here. And then everyone will have a purpose and meaning and fulfillment and love, because we're looking after each other like we should have been from the fucking get-go. But certain people in certain places just want to be selfish fucking cunts. Excuse my language. So, and also with this, the homes for homeless, yeah, I'm going to put a link into this place in LA. LA council, whatever you call it. What do you call it? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, why can't you help these people? It's getting worse, apparently. Help them. They shouldn't. Why are there veterans on the street? Veterans. Come on. How can that be? How can that be acceptable? How can it be acceptable? And you're just driving past them like, yeah. No. You need to help, particularly, and it's all these wait, I've talked about this before as well. So these synthetic drugs. I mean, the further I look, the deeper I go into this, yeah, into sort of global world problems. I mean, the horror of it is, it's heavy, for sure. But they can be solved, that's the thing. And because they consistently aren't, that's because people are consistently stopping them from being solved. So we have to do it. Because it'll just be a better place for everybody. Excuse me. I can't be that selfish. Can't be so selfish that we can drive past people that are suffering day after day and do nothing. Surely. And the same with Syria. That's been going on for 10 years. There was a video, a clip last night, and there was a girl. She was bombed. She was she had been bombed. And she was like 90% covered in burns. She was all bandaged up. She had tubes coming out of her. And they'd done a newspaper, some journalists had gone there. And half her face was burnt off. And she was crying. And her words were, "Please make them stop." And that was 8 years ago. We can't be those people. We can't. We just can't be people that do that. We have to find a way. Sorry. So, where am I? So yeah, the UN's been involved in that. Like, they're just calling people out. Like, they're not doing anything. They're still not doing anything. They're just going, "Oh, you've done this." Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock. We've known that for the last 10 years. Like, where's the movement? That's the whole purpose of them. You know, I said as well about Draw Your Dream, and I was going to do that. I sponsor a girl with ActionAid, and it started with that because she sent me a drawing, and I asked them if I could use the drawing to put on a t-shirt to sell it, and then any sales from that would go to her. And they said, "Oh, it's a safeguarding issue, a drawing." And anyway, so I wrote then to loads of charities, and I said the same thing. And I said, you know, is there any way that I could work, you know, with you and get sort of some kids, because particularly ActionAid, because they've already done it. Those drawings already exist. And I must have written to 10, all at the same time. The only one that came back was Operation Underground, who are amazing, by the way. And they say, they rescue children from sex trafficking, and that must be like the hardest job, because they have to watch all the stuff beforehand to get clues, and I just can't even imagine what that must be like for those people. So they're absolute heroes. But yeah, and none of them came back. And then it got me asking a question: is there a problem with our charity system now as well? So I looked at least with these big ones. So I looked it up. I just did a Google search because it's all about asking the right question. And I got loads of research and stuff back about how paedophiles, there's lots of, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna, because it's true. A lot of paedophiles tend to flock to these charities to work as volunteers, because they know that they're going to be put in places where there are going to be vulnerable children in countries. And there's reports of abuse from charity workers abroad. So then begs the question, what are they doing? And also, when you're working for a charity and then you got the people at the top earning six figures, it really just makes a mockery of the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned. So there's that. House of Lords, I'm going in, sorry. I do not understand why we still have a hereditary peerage system, when all of these people are over 71, white, and they're white males. There is no women, and there are no there's no ethnic minorities whatsoever. And they've cost the United Kingdom 50 million in expenses in the last, I think it was 15 years. And they just passed on, they just put hereditary. They just get a seat anyway. Why? What have they done? Status should be something that is earned for good deeds. I just don't understand. It's just no longer relevant. Shouldn't exist. What's the point? Why are we paying them? What do they do? Absolutely fuck all. Sorry, and I know they're going to be tagged in on this, but truth. Soz. You're not representative of our country in any way. Neither is people in government, frankly. You're not relevant. You're not down with the kids. Don't have any grasp of reality when it comes to on the ground what people are going through. You just don't. Therefore, what value do you have? What can you add? Because if you haven't got any grasp of what is really happening for the vast majority of the country, then why exist? Why are you there? Shouldn't be part of our decision making. You're not actually as well, because it says that in total that the House of Lords have in total said about 50 words in the last year. It might even be longer than that. So there's that. Next thing, what was it? Oh yeah, there's the other thing about town centres as well, because they were empty from shops closing. And I did say that again. I've said this is a suggestion I made before, but I'll make it again. We should turn them into arts and cultural centres of excellence, and sports and stuff like that. That'll bring people back in, because if you have shows on, well, I think I called it like a mini Disneyland or something like that. But you know what I mean? Not like with rides, but so you pay a ticket for the day, and then when you're in there, there's live music, there's performers, there's reenactments. You know that film with I can't think of the names. It's so annoying. It's so funny as well. It's these two guys that work for the energy drink. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna have to look. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna look it up while I talk about it. Energy. So they got an energy drink. They work for this energy, and they get fired for mounting this Manticore statue in the Minotaur. And then they have to go to this. The judge gives them sort of community service essentially, and they have to go and be buddies to these kids, and they go to a history reenactment wizardry sort of thing. Epic. That's right up my street. That is. I'm down with that shit. Love it. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Every town your town centre could be. You could reenact historical things from that town through different points in history. So you could be arts and theatre, and you could have workshops, you could have craft shops, you could have, like craft lessons, things like that. So it's like a mini festival every weekend. But that would bring people in. You could charge for it from the council, and individual people that are there you could pay for the different things, and then that'll bring people back to bars and restaurants, and then it might bring people back to opening up shops, because then if there's already that sort of vibe there and there's people there, then shops will just naturally come back. It doesn't all have to be online. It's dangerous. It's dangerous the way we're going. It's really dangerous. Because people are shutting, as I was saying about shutting offices, which means that people then have to work at home rather than it being a choice. If I was working in an office right now, but I'd spent the last year of working at home, I would be like this to get back to work, or back to the office to be around people. And you know what? It's money again. It's money. People are so fucking greedy. They don't want to pay for offices. They want everyone to work from home now, because then that's an extra cost that they can recoup, that they can have for themselves, rather than being concerned about the mental health of their staff, about needing to be around a team. Because working online is just not the same. It isn't. And using, I personally, it pisses me off, and that's using chat boxes. It just annoys me, because I want to speak to someone. And so many companies now use these. It's AI, isn't it? It's a chatbot. Sorry. And I can understand it for sort of simpler problems, but you got to understand when you're dealing with, like from my mum example, literally every bank uses it, everywhere uses it. Influencers use it even on their own thing, so they don't have to chat to people themselves. So you would have already experienced it. But the problem it comes when it's like my mum, for example, and she goes on it, and she oh man, She just gets, it stresses her out. It stresses her out no end. Because she, you know, a certain generation, and I even would prefer to speak to a person. And using that whole automated system or chat boxes and AI and all of this just stresses them out. They're already stressed enough. They've worked hard enough. She don't need this kind of level of stress at this age. Neither does anyone else. It's just unnecessary stress. Where am I? Oh yeah, and then the census. This is in the UK. Obviously, this is for the LGBTQ family. So I was watching this thing on the news this morning, and they've included a section on gender identity and sexual orientation. So firstly, it's important to fill this census thing out because it's part of history. It's how decisions are made as well in terms of on a community, local government, bigger central government basis. So if you want to be, statistically considered, it's important you fill this out. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's how they care. So, and that's what this guy was saying from a charity. He was saying it's really important that everyone tries to fill it out. So, however, there's a side note, which is if anyone hasn't told their, because you fill it out as a household. So if there's anyone out there that hasn't told their household of their sexual orientation or gender identity, or if you haven't had that discussion yet, but you still want to be counted and answer those questions for yourself, so that you know that you're counted for your area, and so you know your decisions and things will be included when they make sort of community decisions and things like that. You can do it separately. So once the household, if they don't know and they're filling it out for you and they post it back or they do it online and listen, what you can do is you can then, after they've done that, once it's been submitted, you can then go in and ask for an individual access code separate from the household. So the household won't know about it, only you will know about it. And your data, if you then go in and log in, you can then change the data that the household has put in if they don't know. And it will overwrite the original data to include your amendments if you want to then sort of if you want to put that data in about your sexual orientation and gender identity without them knowing, if they don't know. Does that make sense? Because I know that there are people that won't have done that yet, and that's okay. But if you still want your data to be on the census, you can do it without them knowing. Once they've sent in their data, you can ask for an individual access code separate from the household, and then that will overwrite the original data sent in, and they won't know. Just so you know. just thinking about. I think that's enough. I've gone on, rambled on. Soz. So, I am going to put some funnies in there. Didn't mean to get so stressy. Rant. But, you know, the thing is, everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know everything. Oh, you know what wound me up as well? Actually, just thinking about it. I saw a clip to this video, and the title annoyed me, so I didn't even watch it. It was saying honesty is not a value. Well, that just sounds like it's coming from someone who's dishonest. I mean, trying to justify it. Why being honest is not valuable. Like, are you fucking crazy? Being truthful is the most important, I think. Because you can't fix, if you don't know what a problem is, you simply cannot fix it. You don't know it, if you don't know about it, if you don't know it exists. So the only way to know is to be honest in the moment. And it's much better to just say. It doesn't matter how bad it is, it's better to know. Because it's only going to be worse in the long run if you then lie about whatever the problem is. Because that's just going to eat up, that's going to eat your soul out. Just for lying about it, and then you're going to probably have to tell subsequent lies, and then other people get involved, and the spider's web just goes. So even if it's painful to say the truth, it's better to tell the truth, because then it can be dealt with. So I think the overall vibe is fuck 'em. There is absolutely no way. There is no way that I'm getting none of those things I'm doing straight. And even if I got into trouble, I'll be able to talk myself out of it, because I know the law. I've done the study law, so I know the rules. Simple as that. But what I am gonna do this, I'm setting my schedule tomorrow. In a minute, I'm getting in a zone this week, and I know I keep saying that, but I'm doing loads of stuff, but I'm doing stuff that's just distracting me from what I need to do, which will solve the problem. So I've decided I'm going to create an art collection of NFTs called Pussy Power. And no, it's not rude. But that's going to be my art collection. I'm going to do those tomorrow and then put them up for sale. And then after that, I've got my Printify shop. I've already got stuff in there. I need to add it. I just need to do all these little bits and pieces that are just, you know what I mean? I'm like dragging my heels, even though I've already done it half, 9, 3/4. So I just need to do all of that, get that going, get in the zone, and then anything I make, I'm just going to use to get the fuck out of here. Straight. Absolutely. Everyone should. Do you know which country are saying no? We shouldn't have vaccine passports because we don't think it's right. We don't think it's right to force people to have. We also don't think it's right to force people to have vaccine. Do you know where they're doing that? Russia. Good on ya. Boo, boo, boo. Go on, Putin. Yeah? He knows. He knows. So, yeah, maybe I'll go there. I don't know where I'll go. I need to take Mum with me, though, and obviously the kids. So, maybe a beach. I just think somewhere outside, anywhere but here. It's like living in Mordor with the Eye of Sauron. It really is. So, yeah. Joy. Generally speaking, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Everyone needs to do whatever they need to get by right about now. Make money so you don't need them, don't need the system. It's just they'll just control you. That's it. So you can be an affiliate. I'm not going to go into. I'll put the links in. You can, if you want to do it, you can do it. But there's ways and means around these things. There really is, and it's better to be out and have your own money and do what you want. Because that's apparently that's okay for, that's the rules for some. That's the rules for them. Can't beat them, join them. So we'll take over, leapfrog them, and then squash them. Anyway, I love you. I hope everyone's okay. And thinking of everybody. I'm going to do some prayers in a bit. You know it's coming. You know this. You know, just prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for more lockdown. They're just teeing it up. They've been teeing it up for ages. But we can do it. We can get through it. Love you guys.